welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak.
What's up?
And Steve.
Hi.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, what's
How's it
going
going, bud?
on, man?
How's it
How
going,
you
bud?
doing, guys? Good to see you.
Good to see you too,
What
bud.
up, buddy?
Today we are going to be discussing the movie Down Periscope. Steve, why don't you tell us a little bit about this movie?
The Periscope was going down. I was grabbing my mouse from my other computer. That's great. This film, which came out, as I scroll the page up because I wasn't ready for that bit, which came out in 1996, has a running time of 1 hour and 32 minutes, and Lieutenant Commander Tom Dodge is assigned as captain to the USS Stingray, an old diesel-driven submarine that has seen better days. That is the main description that IMDb gives. Kelsey Grammer plays the captain or Lieutenant Commander Tom Dodge, and we get a handful of crazy, kooky characters on this submarine, along with many other stars in it as well. On the submarine itself, you have Lauren Holly, Rob Schneider, Harry Dean Stanton. You have Ken Hudson Campbell. You have Harland Williams. And the first film of Mr. Patton Oswalt.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, saw him in the background. I go, I forgot Patton was in
Yeah.
this. That is great.
Oh, and of course, Toby Huss. I cannot forget Toby
I love
Huss.
Toby Huss. The Sinatra.
The strongest man in the world. That's an Adventures of Pete and Pete reference. There's a bunch of other great people that are in this movie. Bruce Dern, Rip Torn, I've already named them. So I really enjoyed this movie. I saw it in its original run in the theater. I remember going. I remember not getting a lot of the jokes, but I definitely got the tattoo on the Johnson joke.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Well, my thoughts on this movie was I enjoyed it.
Kevin, what are your thoughts on this movie?
I was waiting for the throw, but
sorry, I was taking a sip of my water. My apologies, Kevin.
Not a problem.
What are your thoughts on this movie?
The Bearded Geek says that.
The Bearded Geek. Sorry, I forgot to read your name tag.
I enjoyed this movie. It's one of those movies that is it's kind of like a sleeper movie in my opinion. It didn't get a whole lot of fanfare, but it's so funny. Kelsey Grammer, he's like this wacky, crazy captain who's been given this boat, this submarine, but it's not like a up-to-date from U.S. Navy standards. It is a recommissioned, older diesel submarine that he has to win war games with in order to get a newer submarine. There's an admiral who just despises him throughout this whole movie, and I love the interaction between him and the admiral. It's funny.
That'd be Bruce Stern.
Great movie.
Bruce
Yes,
Stern.
Bruce Stern.
Yeah.
And William H. Macy was the one that I was thinking of. I was going to say Rob Schneider, but it was William H. Macy that is also in this film.
Yeah.
But I love the cunningness. It shows like the cunningness of like this. When they have to go through the center of the carrier. Yes, I'm like, that would never happen. There's no way that they do some crazy
Where's the window?
Like
where's the window that we can see the blades?
Oh, yeah, you can't see it. Yeah, it's crazy. So that to me that was wild. But other than that, I enjoyed it. Mikey the Freak, what do you think about this movie?
Yeah, I think the opening scene really sets pace on Kelsey Grammer's character, how they're very serious at first, and they're trying to zero in, and they're giving all these degrees and all the coordinates, and then he hits the golf ball onto the green, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, I get it. So you kind of can see that it's a serious character, but yet he's going to have that quirkiness and that comedic performance throughout the entire movie, really. I love the little love thing with him and Lauren Holly, but it was a little quick. Like they could have expanded more on that, but that kind of really wasn't what the movie was about. It really had to do with Tom Dodge's character, or Kelsey Grammer's character, Tom Dodge, really presenting himself and really saying, yes, I wanted my own nuclear submarine.
Yeah, it wasn't about
And
polishing the old torpedoes. It wasn't about polishing the old
no, it wasn't about polishing the torpedo. I love that scene. That was hilarious.
Kevin, that's a good point. That was a really good scene. I like that.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
that.
thank you. I thought it was too.
You gotta stop.
Hey, don't you
Hey.
tell me when to stop.
Exactly.
I'll
Don't
as
you-
much as I want.
You're talking.
This is my turn. Stop. So anyway, but it was a great movie nonetheless. I did love Rob Schneider's character. You know, he had to have that.
Yeah.
You always see Rob Schneider as a comedic performer, and then this one he's kind of like that serious, where he
over the top serious.
Over the top. So yeah, you know, by the book. You know, they have orders, and they've got to do it this way, and Kelsey Grammer's like, yeah, sure. And then they make him walk the plank, which was a funny scene. I love that part of the movie.
Is that a chicken? No, it's a bird from the Caribbean. Well, don't let it fly away because it's dinner.
So it'll keep you laughing and you know throughout the entire movie, and then you know you like I said there is that serious part. You know, I think one of the most serious parts on it is when they're trying to go through the two propellers. And yeah, I didn't understand that scene either, but I mean, I've never been in a submarine, so I don't know how they can see ahead of them. Sonar probably, or I don't know. So one thing's I'll never understand, and I don't really give a shit. So
it made for a good story. It made for a good story.
Yeah. And I'm sure people that are in the Navy be like, yeah, that'll never happen, or hell yeah, I could do that. Is what it is. Tell me what you think. If you're in the Navy, could that be done?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Let us know in the comments.
Let us know. If it can be done, that's great.
Well, I mean, if you're in the Navy and you worked on a submarine, because you know not all seamen are on submarines.
No, a lot of seamen are on. Never mind. So we want to make sure it was a great movie, nonetheless.
All right, how about rating? Steve, how would you rate this movie since this was your pick, sir?
I mean, this movie is a lot of fun. It's really silly, but I'd give it a solid 7.5. I know it got panned hardcore when it was out in the theaters, and I really don't understand why. I mean, at the time, I know that there were a lot of these cheesy kind of films coming out, with it being 96. Tom Arnold was actually originally offered the main role that Kelsey Grammer took. Tom Arnold turned it down and actually said that Kelsey Grammer did a better job than he would have. So I think this movie would have sucked with Tom Arnold in the lead role. I don't think he would have been able to pull off that seriousness.
I think Tom Arnold's done a Navy or captain. He's been in that kind of role in another movie.
Yeah, wasn't it McHale's Navy?
Yeah, I was about to say McHale's Navy.
That's it.
So,
yep.
I think I'm going to give this right along
Bearded
with you,
Geek, what would you like to review and give this film?
Damn it, Steve!
What? I'm sorry. Stop yelling at me.
I'm right there with you, man. 7.5 for me. This is one of those movies that it's Kelsey Grammer. When I think Kelsey Grammer, I think Frasier and Cheers. I don't think, slapstick comedy movie. I don't think that at all. And
tossed salad and scrambled eggs. Again.
And to see him in this role, out of what I perceive him as, it was fun to see him do the comedy, and he had a lot of seriousness too. But it was just a well shot movie. The comedy was great. Like you said, 7.5 for me. I would recommend this as a movie for somebody who's looking for a movie to watch. So, Mikey the Freak, what'd you think?
Yeah, I'm on the same page. 7.5 for me. I think the comedic performance was there. The cast of characters. It is a different type of movie than what you expect, but it is very comedic. I think the sleeper actors in this movie are really Harlan Williams and Toby Huss. I think they were hilarious in this movie. And when you think Harlan Williams, I always think of his older movies, but it's one of those like Toby Huss. I think of Vegas Vacation, where he does the Sinatra roles, and he even sings in this movie. Like every movie he's in, he always sings like Sinatra. Almost every movie he's in, I swear to you.
He didn't do it in Halloween. He didn't sing like
I-
Sinatra in
Oh,
Halloween.
well,
He
yeah. that's
died
true.
like Sinatra in Halloween.
That's funny.
Whoa,
That's not too
whoa,
soon.
whoa.
Not too soon, but anyway.
Spoiler.
I
sorry,
loved how he had to-
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Frank
I love how he
Sinatra is
had to
dead.
hold a wire and then touch the other wire with his
Yes.
toe through his
That
sock.
I love that. And every time that they ask something different, he's like,
Yeah.
it's like, all right. And he plugs the
And it-
switch and it works. He's like,
Yeah, it paid off so well at the end when he just flicked the switch and it worked.
and he's like,
It paid
oh,
off so well. That was awesome.
For
Yeah.
me, it's Harland Williams at the beginning when he's like, "Let me guess, he's deaf as a doornail." He's like, "No, sir, he's actually very good at hearing." And then at the very end of the movie, when Kelsey Grammer's like, "Enjoy the time, boys, you deserve it," and Harland Williams just turns around and goes, "Thanks, sir. I'll try
Yeah.
not to overdo it too much." And
He's like 20, 25 yards away when he says that too. So.
yeah. Yeah, so those small things make it a fun movie, and like I said, small comedic parts of it makes you keep laughing throughout the different portions of the movie. So very, very funny.
Great. All right, Steve, do you happen to have any fun facts or at least some facts about this movie?
I do have some facts. You could call them facts, fun facts. Here, hold on. So here's a fun fact. Harry Dean Stanton, who plays Howard in the movie, he's the old man that's working the engines that throws the Jim Beam in, actually served in the Navy during World War II, which is a comment that Kelsey Grammer actually makes in the film of the crew. What are they, washed up World War II veterans?
At least one of them.
The USS,
Yeah.
is it Pimento? I think it's Pimento. Pampamnito.
Sure, we'll go with it. Pimento.
Yeah,
Sure.
that sounds Pimento. Pimpico.
It is actually a World War II submarine. As of 2000, who knows if it's still there? It's currently on display, they say, at Pier 45 in San Francisco. The submarine actually could not move under its own power. All of the underwater shots were scale models. During the surface shot, the submarine was actually being towed.
Okay. You know what? That was really good work then because the scale models, it looked kind of real to me.
Cool.
I mean,
Yeah. And my question is, we've learned before that will an engine really work on whiskey?
That they do not
No.
mention.
it's
I don't
not
think
just
so.
whiskey. It's not just whiskey. It thins it out.
Yes.
It
It thins out the mix.
Yeah.
But
I
it
think-
might blow the fuel injection manifold, though.
That is true.
Patton Oswalt is only in the film for a brief period. He had to leave 2 weeks early to pursue a job as a staff writer at Mad TV. And I think it's very funny because Harry Dean Stanton played a very similar role in Alien. Both characters were engineers on the ship, had similar attitudes, and wore Hawaiian-style shirts.
So it did not have to change. Typecasted.
And then the last fun fact that I will proverbially leave us with is the scene in the movie where Lauren Holly does kiss Kelsey Grammer and then bangs her elbow. Almost wasn't used. Kelsey Grammer almost blew the shot from the reaction. It is unintentional. You can later in the film see a bruise on her elbow. And that was the take that they actually used for the film. They did multiple takes of that. And the one where she accidentally, like her banging it and their reaction is all 100% legit. Was not intended for the film. And that's just the cut they used.
That's cool.
And those are fun facts from here in California.
I get it. It's a real reaction. So awesome.
Bearded Geek, please tell us about any items you may have found online.
I found nothing worth showing.
Autographs.
Yeah, there's autographs and like just regular DVDs, and that's not really what I like to show for movie memorabilia. So you can go on a third party site.
Folks, if you want movie memorabilia, go to San Francisco Pier 45, and you can see the original sub used in the filming of Down Periscope.
There you go. Maybe you can
I got you, bearded geek.
Maybe you can grab a piece of rust off of it and keep it as a movie memorabilia. Mikey the Freak, what do you have for some related reels?
We do not condone the theft of rust off of any type of memorabilia, though.
I do.
Yeah, so
I do. Go ahead and do it.
I do as well. 2/3 rule.
you run over to Steve's house. I did pick some of the main characters. I went with Kelsey Grammer. As we know, he's all for his role in Cheers, Frasier, which are two great shows he spent a lot of his time and a lot of his career on. And then I even did his voice acting ability in The Simpsons as Sideshow Bob.
Oh yeah, he was Sideshow Bob.
Yeah, so he did that for years and years. So, and of course, he's been in tons of other movies and shows like X-Men as Beast. So, I mean, there's been a bunch of movies that he's been in. I went with Rob.
Toy Story 3, right?
Yeah, he was the he was Toy Story 2. He was the
he is the pioneer.
Yeah,
Prospector.
The Prospector, that's it. Prospector was the name. Rob Schneider, and he has been in several Adam Sandler movies.
Rob
Schneider, you can do it. You can do it all night long.
All night long. That's probably one of my favorite scenes. From The Water Boy. I did like him in Big Daddy and Mr. Deeds, which he basically played the same character, the pizza delivery guy. So and then I picked a Deuce Bigalow. I liked him in Deuce Bigalow. Such a good movie. Terrible movie, but very funny.
Women pay me to pleasure them.
50 First Dates. He's good in 50 First Dates too.
Oh yeah, I feel you have a cat. I feel him licking me.
I liked him in The Hot Chick.
Yes, that was a good one too.
It's me.
And The Animal. The Animal's a good one too.
The Animal's horrible.
It is a funny movie, but yes,
I saw that movie when it came out in the theater. All right,
no,
there is no but.
I mean,
that was the only time I watched that movie. I've seen that movie play on cable.
I saw it in theaters as well, and the worst part of the movie is the supporting actress. The supporting actress was horrible. She was the girl off of Road Rules. She was on MTV. Yeah, so that's what made it like she's not an actress.
You're not an actress.
It's horrible. And then I went with Harlan Williams. Like I said earlier, the sleeper, Sonar. He's the sleeper comedian in the movie. I liked him in Half Baked. I'm sure it's Steve's favorite movie. Something about Mary. Something about Mary, where he was a hitchhiker on the side of the road.
Now you know
5-second ads.
5-minute abs. You have 6-minute abs, right?
Yes.
But what if you could do it in 5 minutes? 5-minute abs. Sorry, keep going.
Step into my office because you're fucking fired. I love that. That's my favorite line of the whole movie. I love that part. Like, step into my office. Well, why? Because you're fucking fired.
I want to say
how much I want to use that at work, and I can't. I really do.
I want to say I used that. I really did at a job once. They weren't fired, but I did use that at work.
For all my employees that watch this, or former employees that watch this, I really want to try it at work, but I know I would get in trouble, so I will never say that to any one of my employees. And I was going to pick Toby Huss, but we kind of talked about him earlier in Vegas Vacation. That's one of the only movies that I really enjoyed him in or watched him in other than this one. So
cool. All right, Steve, where can people catch you on your podcast?
Woo! You can find me at The Last Podcast You'd Want. It's me and my buddy Travis talking about movies. We release on a weekly basis, but I think I'm going to possibly go to a bi-weekly basis, because why not?
It's your podcast. You can do what you want.
Do what you want. Who cares?
Who cares? I don't. That's The Last Podcast You'd Want. You can find us on every major podcast outlet. You could find us on YouTube at The Last Podcast You Want. Don't mind me being absent-minded. And that's The Last Podcast You'd Want. Look us up everywhere that you can look up that stuff, and you'll probably find something. Tip the veal, try the staff. See you next time.
All right, guys, if you like this video, hit that thumb. Give us a good old thumbing. Hit that like button.
Sorry, I need to give the thumb. Sorry.
Yeah. I messed it up. Give us a thumbing. Hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, do all the YouTuber things. So for Steve and Mikey the Freak, I am the Bearded Geek saying keep it retro, everybody.
Peace.